What's up, Pandees?
You're listening to the Pandesoul podcast.
Join us as we unpack the flavors of being Filipino
and American. We're your hosts, Dre Magix, the fictitious professor, and EJ Villaman.
And we hope you're hungry.
Because there's plenty to go around. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Pandesoul podcast. I'm your host, Dre Magix, with Fic Prof, the fictitious professor, and EJ Villaman. We are your three hosts. And this week, we're going to get right into it. It's going to be a really quick episode because we're here at the studio and they need the stuff. Hey, own up to it. You know what I mean? Right. No, it's wild, though, because, we have to navigate this world now of social media.
Right.
And what's the answer? Is the answer... We didn't stop it. We just rolled through it. You're good. Yeah. We have to navigate this world now. Right? Where it's not... so much in-person social circles is where you get information. It's on the internet.
Right.
Right? And it's, what are you putting forth? Right? For a lot of people, it's their highlight reel of their life.
Right.
And I've recently just been like, hey man, just whoever you are, just put that up. It takes way too much energy to be something else.
Right.
You know what I mean? You guys, I know a lot of you guys don't really, neither of you guys really post as much as I do, for sure. But that's just because I'm posting stuff for the show and whatever. Right. But in your own personal kind of display representative on the internet, what is your kind of MO?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I've been thinking about that a lot because also just, like, trying to figure out posting as, like, an artist and, like, for work and stuff like that.
Your personal stuff.
Getting back to that. Because when I first, like, started Instagram, I just post random stuff. Like, I'd see one of my friends just walking across the street and, like, post a picture of him just, like, caught in the wild. It's, like, random stuff. Or just, like... Woof. Bow wow.
Bow wow.
Or, like...
Bow wow?
Just, like, random stuff. Like, oh, look at my dog or whatever.
Oh, that's what you were going to say.
Woof. And then I went from, like, posting one picture a year and like in my personal Instagram where it's like, I don't really feel like I need to have a public time capsule or like photo book in that way. Yeah. And then having that paradigm shift from like, okay, I need social media as a business tool. So how do I post what I post? How do I do something within like longevity in that sense too? Yeah.
But that's my thing where it is a business tool and it is promoting whoever this made-up character of Dre Magix is. Right. But also, I want them to realize, hey, I'm just like a dude. My job is extraordinary for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I do magic and I host and I, do all these things. I have a podcast with, my friends.
Is it share love, make magic? Make magic, share love?
Something like that. Spread love, make magic.
Yeah.
And it's... Make love.
Spread love.
Make love, spread magic.
That's a comeback story.
Yeah. You got
gold. Yeah. That's Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. No, but it's that where I do have these thoughts of like, oh, I want to inspire and I want to be hopeful, right?
Right.
But also, I'm this dude too, where I crack so many jokes and I'm like, I crack puns and I do a Filipino accent.
Yeah, crack wind.
What?
Crack wind.
Definitely crack wind.
Crack wind?
What the?
Oh, break wind?
Break wind?
No, you just crack it. You don't have to break the whole... Yeah. It's a little...
I think you're making otot wrong. You have to use your whole puwet, dude.
Oh, okay. It's caught on my forearm.
Your whole wind.
Your whole wind. All your breath. Dude, that's true. Titos was internet back then.
They were the internet.
Dude, that's the internet back in the... You know what?
Don't you ponder why.
Do you want to see a magic? Do you want to see a magic?
Let me tell you something.
Bro, that was the original.
That was the original Google search.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Google search. That was original like email. Up to date.
Up to date.
Email blast.
Email blast. Yeah.
Come here. I'm gonna tell you something.
Original stories.
Yeah, original stories.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this.
But you can't. You can't skip through.
Yeah. You can't. Yeah.
Come here. Yeah. That was the original story.
Hey.
What's this?
Teka muna.
Teka muna. But yeah, yo, what's up, Grub Life? Yeah, so the internet, right? What you put on the internet is, and this is gonna lead into the thing later.
Okay.
But what you put on the internet, it affects other people, right?
Right.
Yes.
Subconsciously, and I think that's why, for my own self, I'm trying to just have no limitations on what I put on there because there's so much pressure.
Right.
Right. Oh, this has to be perfect. This video has to be the best quality. This picture has to. You have to look stunning in every photo you post on the internet. When we have shit like this, I just turned and I looked.
You looked at yourself in the eyes.
You're like, this,
Made eye contact with your
What the hell is that?
this is me. This is us.
This is us. What like goofball?
Yeah.
But I'd rather be the example of. I'd rather not be the standard. Well, I'm not gonna be the standard of beauty. But I'd rather be the standard of how to live life effectively.
Yeah.
Right.
Walang
Where
hiya.
it's walang hiya,
Bahala
super bahala na, right?
Yeah.
Where it's, bro, he might not have the most money or the most fame, but yo, he and his friends are having the best time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think in terms of that, that's how, the internet kind of affects life, which is kind of a result of our topic today.
Right.
Which is colorism. I know it's a long stretch,
Oh.
but we just started off with the internet talk.
Right.
Colorism, it's a very prevalent ideal in the Filipino community for sure. And I think even in the like black community, where it's, if you don't know what colorism is, EJ will explain it to you. Go ahead.
It's like BDSM, but no.
But colorism?
What is the definition of colorism?
I don't know. I'm looking at Pokemon cards. I got you, dude. I got you.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
Pokemon Nox.
Let's see what it says.
You teach me.
Ang pogi mo.
All right. Colorism, prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a darker skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. Right. So in the Philippines, one of our kind of ideals that were placed upon us is colorism, where when you don't have mestizo skin tone, you're looked down upon.
Right.
But it's crazy because I've talked to people with mestiza skin tones, and they feel othered as well, right? And also, where is the line for dark?
I don't know.
Right? Because like, is this dark?
Yeah.
Is this
Right.
dark or
Like,
is this normal?
Are we like dark? Like,
I don't know,
are we like
dude.
mestizo?
Yeah.
Like,
What was your understanding of that before all this? Like before, kind of the internet definition of it? Because in my head, I'm like, so you don't look Chinese? You know what I mean? You don't look Chinese, people hate you in the Philippines?
yeah.
Right.
And my understanding was, because the Chinese were rich. And that's why everyone wanted to look like that. And they wanted to treat everyone who didn't look like that poorly.
Yeah.
Right? So what was your kind of experience with colorism?
Yeah. I mean, I remember just like, it wasn't super ingrained in like my family, but it was like, don't go out in the sun, you're gonna get dark, and just like other things, like little things.
Yeah.
And then when I became more aware of like what's going on in the diaspora, then it's like the whole like whitening soap and it's like all those little things. It's like, oh shit, it's like a whole thing.
Dude, till this day, I can't eat a papaya because that like,
Oh, the
because I'm like, oh man, that's messed up. That's
Right.
like,
This is what we use.
that's what they use to ruin my culture.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna support the papaya financial
Industry?
growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what if it's like grown locally?
My
Shopped.
or backyard.
Yeah.
My
Your
uncle,
backyard?
my uncle we had like a couple papaya trees.
Y'all make soap?
No.
Is that why your skin's like that? All nice and soft?
I'm calling papas.
Patatas.
Yes.
Papa, yeah. I think I'm in the same boat. Cause like I've never been called dark, really.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that feels like, but like my dad is fairly darker. and like they say a little bit of joke.
You're laughing. Wasted, bro.
Ang tatay mo ka po. Isa. Apat lima ating.
See, colorism is even in our nursery rhymes.
Yeah. It is.
Sorry, that's all I thought about. Because I learned that from you.
Yeah. It's a good callback.
I feel like if you're a man, the darker you are, the more wise you are.
That's true.
That's what I feel. Like I always feel like, okay, if I was
Like the wise titos are always like dark.
yeah, I feel
Holy
like
crap.
if you were a super, like, let's say you were like Zelda or like on a quest, and you had to meet this like sage, right? But he was he was in the Philippines. That guy I'm picturing always has his legs.
Yeah.
He has always his legs crossed like a female, like over the knee, right?
Oh,
Knee,
like this.
knee over
Like
knee, like that. He's always hella dark,
Yeah.
and he's always smoking a cigarette,
right.
like
know-
very feminine. He's
And he'll never look at you in the eye.
yeah. It's like I don't know.
Oh, so you want to learn the secrets of the force?
Yeah.
You want to ponder why
Takbo.
there's animals.
But yeah, I think to me, dark. Maybe it's because my lolos were dark. But it's in color. Like I feel like darkness equals wisdom. You know. Go ahead, take whatever you want, dog.
Take my life.
But I feel like it's more prevalent in women. Because,
Right.
I mean, wherever it stems from, there's got to be a sense of, oh, hey, these people work in the fields, right?
Right.
If you're a
Yeah.
man, you're always going to be in the sun in the
Right.
Philippines, right? So it don't matter. There's not much of a premium on, being dark if you're a man. But
Right.
it sucks because I have friends that are like, oh, I don't want to get too dark. And, I don't want to be like morena, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's
And I'm like,
beautiful.
just be who you is.
Yeah.
Right.
Just enjoy.
Yeah. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride.
Just enjoy.
Right.
Just live.
You sound so creepy. Like you're stroking some chick. Baby, just enjoy the ride.
Just
Live and let live.
wear a shirt.
Sando.
No, that is kind of weird, right? I mean, I find anyone attractive, so it's fine. But like, it's sad. It's sad how it's like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we can do to change that because it's really just how they feel.
Well, like, okay, so
How
how
anyone
is
feels
us
inside.
dudes, how is us men empower, not just, I don't know what the move is. Is it empowering
Yeah.
the morenas or like just empower all women?
Right.
Right? But like, how is that solving colorism specifically? So
Right.
that's how my brain works, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
let's segment it. How do we empower the females with kind of darker skin tone?
Yeah, it's just like
As a friend, though, because
Right.
it's different, right? Because a lot of it is based in, who's gonna want you,
right.
right? But how, as a male friend, are you going to empower?
Yeah, it's just like reversing the narrative, or at least like trying
Sample.
to. What's like
Right? Because the easy answer is like, oh, you would just go date more Moreno women, but you two are spoken for,
right.
right? And I'm picky.
Right.
Not like that, but like, if like I'll date, but you have old hands.
Yeah.
Dude, this whole night has been called back.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm trying to get at, where it's.
Right. Yeah. It's
I'm
like
not gonna specifically go and date to try and save a race of people or
Right.
like an ideal that I think should die, right?
right.
So, and I don't think that's where it should come from.
Right.
It's like that's too shallow,
Right.
right? So, kind of wrapping up on the end of this, we have about 12 minutes left, right?
Yeah. 15
Where,
minutes.
how as a man can you empower a woman or even another man, right?
Right.
Against the ideal of colorism as a friend,
Right.
Because I don't think romantically is the answer,
Right. That's definitely not it.
right? Because it's not shallow. It's too shallow. Excuse me.
Right. Yeah, I
What's
mean it's
the-
just like
what's the solution?
affirming the like what's and like reversing the cultural prioritization of like light skinness.
So how
it's just like
how would that manifest in real life?
Right. Yeah. It's.
What's the like?
I think it's also just like case by case basis because it's like some folks are just like way too like affected by it, so then it's like you have to have more caution in like words and ways of like affirming.
Right. I'm just saying, like, how would you affirm it at all?
Right.
Man, that is.
Which is tough, right? Because
That is
hey,
tough.
you looking hella dark today.
Yeah.
Like it sounds weird.
It's like you looking dark but hot. Like
Yeah, that sounds bad.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. You're looking hot and dark.
Right.
Can I get a 2-piece dark?
Yeah.
Spicy.
Dark
Spicy
only?
chicken.
Dark and spicy?
Or if there's like, I mean, it's not everyone will do this, but like negative self-talk sometimes, like they say, "Oh, I wish," like, "Oh, I
and
got
stop
so dark."
stop the self-talk. Where it's like,
Or
hey,
if,
don't
like-
even worry about that.
Like, "Oh, I'm going to like the beach or something," and like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay on the umbrella. I don't want to get like darker." But like, "Oh no, it's like it's fine. Like, it's not a bad thing."
Do you think like the first step is really just digging in deep into like the friends, like asking them like, why do you really feel this way?
Maybe.
Like what? Okay, you don't want to be out. Like why do you feel that? Okay, they give you their answer, but like why?
This is
why
a weird
that?
conversation to have at the beach, but okay.
Right.
While you're putting on the sunscreen, but why don't you wanna? But I mean, not even at the beach, but just like in general, like eating at like a restaurant. Like I don't know, just like find the real
Why
reason.
don't you like dark meat? Why are you always wing and breast?
Like I don't know, maybe like I don't know what part of this way you're feeling, like what do you feel like you're feeling this way?
Yeah. And it's like, oh, do you feel like you're less of a person because of this skin tone?
Yeah.
Right? But then, look, everyone else has trauma because they're a bunch of mestizos that feel like they're not accepted because of their skin tone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Which
Or
is,
other like features.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what, like I'm saying, and I don't want to generalize it because this is a very specific topic
Right.
and we shouldn't dilute the importance of it.
Right.
But what's kind of the answer? Is it just having more conversations or promoting? Because you can always talk about in film you should promote more Lorena toned lead actresses or whatever it is, but we don't have power over that.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not making movies
Right.
yet.
I feel like it is the conversation of like getting them to say what they really feel and having people hear what they really feel.
Yeah, and see, even
And
that
not like the- not like
confuses
the-
me because there's a thin line between hearing someone out and parading them as a circus,
Parading them.
right?
What do you mean?
Yeah. It's like the toxic version of like tokenism. It's like, oh, look at us, we hired this all like
Oh wow, no, yeah,
cast.
yeah. No, but like I meant like one friend, like
Yeah.
hearing them out and like
Okay.
I don't know, you just like have a safe space to like talk about it. Like what's the real? What do you feel is
Emil.
there-
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't. It's Were you ever kind of like a victim of this or of colorism? Were you ever? I mean, I grew up in the same way where my parents were like, "Oh, you're gonna get so dark." But like when I was younger, I was like, "Oh, they don't want me to look like another race of people." Right? Where like some Latino people, the black culture is
Yeah.
even like dark. But I think that was a fear. I thought they had a fear of those cultures when it's actually colorism within our own culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what I thought growing up. And then later on, I'm like, oh, Filipinos be dark as fuck too.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also like all right. But also now I wonder, would I be saying this if I suffered under color? Like if I felt like I was a victim of colorism.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because most of the stuff people are fighting for, they're not even suffering of.
Oh, right. I know what you mean.
And it's like, oh. So maybe the conversation is like, yo, actually, do you feel like this is a problem? Or is it just like a problem brought up by people looking for a cause to fight for?
I mean,
No,
it is
it's a problem.
Yeah, it is I would say it's a
Okay.
problem.
It's just
'Cause
something that we don't identify.
Right. No, but
Right.
you say it's a problem. I'm saying ask a friend who you think would suffer under colorism.
Right.
If it's a problem.
Suffer under colorism or suffer?
Suffer from like being a victim of colorism.
okay.
Like suffering is a bad word just because it's not like a disease or anything. But
Right.
have they been a victim, or if you thought they were a victim of this ideal, do they think it's a problem?
Yeah, I've can think of a handful of friends
Okay.
who like that's like been a narrative that they
Right, but not everyone would think that way.
right. And it's also like also your earlier point is mostly women,
Right.
female folk.
Okay, so I guess the next step would just be like, just be straight up. I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, what can I do to make you feel better about
Yeah.
this? Because it really isn't. I don't think it's a problem. I
Right.
think, all of you are attractive
Right.
Yeah.
from that point, but also genuinely as a person. You know what I mean? A darker skin tone doesn't equate being less of a person.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and it's like kind of goes back to like being an ally and being affirming.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's this person's journey to undo this narrative, and it's like we can just like be affirming and be like, it's totally cool. Like you're beautiful as you are, and
what narratives are you trying to unwind, wrapping up this section on colorism? Because I'm searching for topics for next shoot. What topics are you trying to unwind from?
good question.
I don't know. Yeah.
The balance of feminine and masculine energy,
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
right?
Yeah,
Because,
undoing the like toxicities of male
Right.
culture, female culture, etc.
and kind of the ideal of like, you have an accent, then you're less of a person.
Oh, man.
So I mean, I think those are good topics that we can talk about next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So we should schedule a shoot
Ooh.
when all of us are healthy.
Right.
I just didn't want to waste the night where I'm just like, oh, everyone finally. And we needed content.
We did.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Pandesoul podcast. We're here every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. PDT, and if you're in the Philippines, Friday at 11:30 a.m. PHD.
DVD, PhD, TB.
HTTP.
DB.
HTTP.
But yes, thank you for joining us. We will catch you next time. We're your hosts, the Dre Magics, EJ Velleman, and Fic Prof. If you guys want to check out our shoots live, we go live on Kumu. And just check us out. We'll see you next time. Episodes are on YouTube and Spotify. Don't forget your
Wow.
Baon.
O sige na, Pandees.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Pandesoul.
And check out previous episodes on Spotify and YouTube. We also go live here on Kumu every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. PDT and Fridays at 11:30 a.m. Philippines time.
Thanks for laughing, and join us next week because there's enough Pandesoul to go around.
And don't forget your baon!